Looking back, it makes more sense. I believe that I already had it since 2017. I was only diagnosed in 2020 when I had to come back to Canada. That's when I was diagnosed. I do have my memory lapses. I do forget, right? It affects the whole body. That's why it's multiple sclerosis. My name is Isa. I'm also known as Ricardo. This is where I studied. This is this high school here. I was new to the country. I came to Canada from Portugal. I was already nearly 6, close to 6, and I was doing well in school to the extent that later on I ended up in law school. I was a very studious child, and when I was in Australia, new to the country, didn't know anyone, I met Ahis brothers from Islam, and they really literally saved my life. They shared Islam with me, and they were looking after my well-being, and that's how I found out about Islam. Of course, before I would hear about it, it was nothing new, but never at this close in this proximity, and I learned more than I really appreciate it. I really do. So I converted to Islam due to those brothers I mentioned. They were there for me. I always say good character, good akhlaq is the best form of dawah. It was hard at first when I came back in 2020. I didn't have those friends I had in Australia, so it was very hard. And as you may know, everything was locked down, everything was shut down, and it only helped to accelerate the MS, which I already had.
So MS is multiple sclerosis, and it's an autoimmune disease, meaning like our own immune system would attack our own body. Technically what happens is it attacks our central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord. Your central nervous system, your nervous system is the one which sends messages to your body. So there will be symptoms starting from diplopia, like your eyes. It can affect your speech to further body, your general body. So the cause of MS is still a mystery. We're still researching on it. So treatment also is it's still an ongoing research. We use medications like corticosteroids because in MS usually there's inflammation happening in your body, and usually there is involvement of multiple healthcare partners like occupational therapists, physical therapists.
Looking back, I already had it. My body wasn't functioning the way it used to. I already had my walking difficulties and even some speech difficulties, memory and all. But it only exacerbated with the passage of time, which is natural with us with MS.
So MS in Canada, MS has a high prevalence. It's said that around 90,000 people are living with MS in Canada. That's 1 in 20 people get diagnosed every day. So it's a chronic disease. It's not fatal. There's still symptomatic treatment. So if patients, and it's usually in the age range of 20 to 40, so even young age can get affected. So they can take treatment, start early treatment with involvement of other healthcare professionals like occupational therapists, physical therapists. You can have a good quality of life.
You combat this by staying active, having a social life, eating healthy, resting. That's one way of getting ahead of this, but it's a problem that has no cure. But not giving up, just keep on living life, and that's the way to go. And not allow it to take over. Like you know, you need to just keep on hanging in there. Sometimes you have to undergo a challenge to better appreciate the help that you bring upon someone else's life.